Alright, let's not screw up the naming this time. It's the Tecnifibre T5 300. Okay. What's up, guys, and welcome back to Gladiators Tribe, and today on our playtest is the highly demanded but slightly confusing Tecnifibre T5 300S. Didn't screw up the naming this time. Very demanded by all of you guys, and honestly pretty high expectations from my side as well, because the T5 300 and the T5 305S were really impressive. But yeah, let's see if this can live up to the expectations. Check out the specs. Alrighty, mixed up feelings about this one. First of all, can I give Tecnifibre a little bit of shit for screwing up with the naming of their rackets again? Because man, is it confusing. Even I managed to screw up in my own review of the racket. So there's the T5 300 and the 300S, and then there's the T5 305S and the 315S, and there's no S versions of those, and the S should technically or logically stand for spin or something, but the S versions are 98-inch heads instead of 100. What? Anyways, like Tecnifibre usually does, they mess up the naming of the rackets, but they totally deliver on the performance, because this thing in the right hands can perform magic. Let me first go through the things that I didn't really enjoy before moving on to the stuff that I love. The main concern that I have with the new T5 300S is the weight distribution and the balance of the racket. With it weighing just 300 grams, the shifted weight to the handle of the racket to improve maneuverability is really noticeable. For some, it might be a good thing, but I just really like when the racket almost drags me with it into the shot, and with this, it doesn't happen. Well, it does as much as it can with the weight that it has and the balance, but it isn't enough for me. Though I do have to mention that with the 305, this doesn't happen. Just a 3-gram difference in swing weight, but it is noticeable. Now onto the good stuff, and let me start by highlighting its spin potential. For 98-inch racket, this thing actually rips the ball. It might actually be one of the most spin-friendly rackets in this head size, and that's a big one. It kind of has to do with the fact that it's so maneuverable, and as it always is in tennis, if there is something that the racket is not so good at, like penetrating through the ball for example, there is going to be an area where it is exceedingly good, like topspin in this case. It is especially noticeable on the topspin kick serves, which are super easy to hit and direct to your opponent's backhand in the most annoying location. Flats weren't as impressive, but were very solid and really good overall. If you already feel like this Tecnifibre T5 300S is your next weapon of choice and you want to go for the 98-inch head with the S and not the 100-inch head in the normal 300, then the link to get this thing or anything else tennis related is going to be down in the description below, together with our exclusive discount code that will save you some cash, and that also really helps the channel. And on that note, back to the review. Now to the forehands, which also performed rather well. Even though wasn't ideal for me, I let some of my friends with ATP ranking try this racket out, and they highlighted the ease of use on the forehands and how effortlessly they can whip the racket to create a very hard to reach angles and generate very good spin. On the backhand side, the situation is not as good though. Due to that impressive maneuverability, it's lacking on penetration. However, I have to note that thanks to the 98-inch head, the racket is quite stable on impact, and thanks to the Tecnifibre rather big sweet spot, you are able to produce good backhands and even winners. I just wouldn't really rely on this thing to open up the potential of your backhand if that's your main weapon and if it's a shot that you really rely on heavily in your game. Volleys were very spectacular. Don't mind me missing almost every single volley I've hit in this playtest. It's definitely not the racket's fault. I just have to work on my net game. It's been horrible lately. I always enjoy returning with lightweight, well-made rackets because you can just swing hard at the ball and often produce some crazy return winners that are way harder to achieve with heavier rackets that I'm used to, like this Tecnifibre T5 or the Ezone 100 for example. You just swing the forehand at the ball and boom, winner down the line on the line that you were completely, absolutely not expecting. For those of you who did notice Tracked by SwingVision watermark in the corner of the video and wondering what the hell SwingVision is, well, for those of you who don't know, it's an app that allows you to track your performance on court, get the most detailed stats, all with just the use of your phone and something to hang your phone on the fence with. And if you subscribe to SwingVision subscription using the link down in the description below, you'll also get the SwingVision stick, which is exactly the device to use to hang your phone on the fence in the most easy way. And it's actually worth like $100, but you'll get it for free if you use the link down in the description below. But yeah, it's a cool app that I use myself, as you can see. And back to the review. What's the verdict on this thing then? Well, if I were Tecnifibre, I'd think about the naming for sure. But if I were you, I would just be very careful while purchasing or ordering this racket for playtest to make sure that you don't confuse it with the 300 or with the other 30 rackets of T-Fight available on the Tennis Warehouse website. But yes, if you want a versatile, maneuverable, powerful and spinny racket and 300 grams is a weight that you're good with, don't hesitate and give it a shot. If you want a control and feel oriented racket and spin and power aren't your focus, definitely skip this one. All in all, once again, a great racket from Tecnifibre, and I really love that they're trying to revolutionize the way we think of professional tennis rackets or rackets in general. By the way, in this playtest, I'm using the pre-release whiteout model, don't get confused. It's the same racket, just in a different paint job. But that's it from me for today. Check out the grades. My name is Grisha, and I will see you glads in the next one. Bye-bye.
I just need time.